Coming up on this month's edition of The Now, the importance of student involvement in the midterm elections, the possible relocation of a beloved childhood monument, an exclusive look into the inner workings of a haunted house, and your monthly sports update. Good morning, Huskies, and welcome to this month's edition of The Now. From your Advanced Media Lab, I'm Erica Brandt.
And I'm Drake McIntyre. The midterm elections are coming up soon, yet a lot of students are choosing not to vote. Ellie La Liberté has the story.
Thanks, guys. November 6th is the midterm election, the local, state, and federal races that take place halfway between presidential elections. November's elections feature several races where 18-year-old North students can really make a difference. This election features close races for governor, U.S. House, and a tough state Senate race. Although both parties are saying this race is critically important for the future of our generation, still many young voters are choosing not to exercise their right to vote. High school is commonly seen as a time for young adults to find themselves. And for some seniors here at North, this can mean gaining the ability to vote. We talked to Jake Snedek, a senior who has recently turned 18, about his opinion on the importance of voting.
I just feel like it's our civic duty as Americans because we get a chance to vote at 18. I think it's a great way for us to get in part of our politics and our government, as well as some other countries around the world don't have the options to vote. So I think we should, as Americans, take advantage of the opportunity.
Jake's plans to vote, however, do not reflect all students at NNHS eligible to participate. Juliet Falanco, another senior at North, is not planning to vote.
I don't feel I know enough and that I'm not educated enough in who exactly is running. And being 18, we're at such an influential age, and I wouldn't want to vote for someone just because my parents said to vote for them or that my friends did.
The problem that may face many of the younger voters is the lack of education about non-presidential elections. Understanding the impact that voting can have on a community allows for students to begin to develop opinions on the political climate. We also talked to social studies teacher Dan Iverson about the importance of young people voting.
It's really important for young voters to vote. Unfortunately, young voters are the country's least reliable voters, and the consequences for that are that the government really doesn't pay attention to issues that really affect younger voters.
This opportunity may only be available to students who are 18 years old, but these elections are important to all students as the outcomes may affect our generation's future. To stay educated about these current events, students can read the news and use resources such as bestcolleges.com for tools on how to vote and picking candidates that share their viewpoints. And if you are 18 or over, you can still register to vote at your local polling place on Election Day, Tuesday, November 6th. For more information on how to register, visit the DuPage County Election Commission's website. This has been Ellie La Liberté from the North Star. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ellie. The DuPage Children's Museum might be changing locations due to a planned redevelopment near the 5th Avenue train station. We go to Harper Dade with the story.
Thanks, guys. Last October, Naperville City Council began the expansive 5th Avenue project, a plan to renovate the area around the 5th Avenue train station. Earlier this month, the plan stalled. A major point of contention? What to do with the DuPage Children's Museum. The DuPage Children's Museum is a monument of recent childhood memory. From school trips to family outings, the museum imprints the lives of many Naperville residents. Part of the new plan on 5th Avenue, however, might move the museum to a new location. Although the building isn't expected to transfer far, the changes will certainly shake up the area. Junior Owen Chilcote, a current part-time employee at DuPage Children's Museum, has known the building since he was a toddler.
I went constantly as a child, and the sculpture out front actually cut the ribbon on when I was a kid, so.
The design plan for the 5th Avenue project would include an entirely new parking structure, shopping center, and residential area, right along the train station. City Council was looking to progress to Phase 2 of the project on October 16th, but were met with a less than satisfactory status report from the steering committee in charge of handling the project. Thomas Higgins, a Park Addition Subdivision resident on the steering committee, does not think the situation will be easily resolved.
And the problem is that, it's one of the key properties, in the development. And it's a very desirable piece, to be developed. And so the Children's Museum being there may not be conducive to, like, say, putting a commuter parking deck there, which would help, alleviate the commuter issues for parking.
The decision has been pushed back to later this year. Until then, the museum's fate remains uncertain.
They've kind of realized, council's kind of realized that they've got to come to some decision. Does it stay and does it go? Or does it go? And if it does go, where's it going to go to?
Despite the commotion, Chilcote is excited about the development plans and doesn't mind the potential change in commute time.
I'm actually pretty excited because I know that area isn't a place I go to much, and I'm hoping that it'll make it more vibrant and colorful like the rest of downtown.
This has been Harper Dunny from the North Star. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Harper. At this time of year, haunted houses are a popular Halloween attraction. We took a look into how they work and what goes on behind the scenes. Jack Tarantino has the story.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the 13th floor haunted house in Melrose Park, Chicago, to check out what goes on behind the scenes at a world-famous haunted house.
The 13th floor haunted house is a nationally recognized establishment with multiple locations across the U.S. It is the first and only haunted house company in the world.
We strive to fill like every part of our show with maximum detail. We want our shows to look good even if it was like all the lights were on and you were filming a movie in it. Like it looks that realistic and that filled with detail.
Although working on a haunted house is fun, it takes thousands of hours to keep everything running smoothly.
We run workshops for the actors on the performance side. We run workshops, training days, things like that. On the build side, I mean, it's year-round going, like constantly buying, adding, building, all kinds of new stuff year-round. Just depends on what we're trying to pull off for that year. And actually, we're even thinking in the future of years to come as well. So it's pretty much all the time.
At 13th floor, there are many unique attractions seen in no other haunted houses. In fact, the team works year-round to ensure that every season is different and scarier than the last.
One of our rooms, we call it the tilt room. It's built at a 45-degree angle. So all of the props and the furniture and stuff like that, all looks like it's at a weird angle to you when you're walking. And then, of course, you feel confused and disoriented because the floor is at that 45-degree angle. People always think it's moving. Like, how did you get that room to move? Oh, it's a secret. It ain't moving. I'm gonna bring it to life.
This has been Jack Tarantino from the North Star. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jack. We now go to Katie DeWard with your monthly sports update.
Thanks, guys. Hey Huskies, it's Katie DeWard back with your monthly sports update. The football season recently ended earlier this month, and we got a chance to talk to the team about the season. Josh Peach has the story.
Thanks, Katie. As the football season comes to a close, we got a chance to catch up with senior captain Andrew Reinhardt, whose season changed dramatically after an injury in the first game of the season.
My role changed a little bit when I was hurt because instead of being a starter on the field or a leader on the field, it transitioned into more a leader on the sideline, helping out my teammates off the field. What I can do from the sideline is sometimes as important or more important, I think, than even what I could do in a game sometimes. As far as like hyping up the team on the sideline or helping out other people. Football's been super important to me over the past 4 years. Like I said, like a lot of my best friends came from the sport. I think that it's been really important helping me grow as a person, not just a football player. So I think even after football's over, I think I've learned a lot of things from football that'll carry with me. And then I love playing with the guys. Like, I love the group that we have. And I think that that bond is going to carry on after the season's over.
We also got a chance to talk to senior Matt Hines about how the team was able to continue to battle through adversity throughout the season.
The Week 9 loss to Nico was pretty tough, but we just wanted to keep battling. Like, we didn't want to end the season on a super low note. We wanted to keep winning, so that last one really stung. But it's still nice battling with my dudes.
The Huskies finished the year with a record of 3-6, just missing out on a playoff berth. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Josh. In other sports news, Naperville North has had a spooktacular month. The girls' golf team landed an incredible 7th at state, Mara Flaherty leading the charge in 15th overall. Kavya Ratchapalli and Irene Zhang both represented the girls' tennis team at state as well, advancing to the second round of the doubles championship bracket. The field hockey team also held its very first home playoffs game against Lakes Community on October 13th, ending in an unfortunate loss. On top of that, the girls and boys cross country teams will each be competing at state over the weekend. This will be the third year running for the girls team should they win at state. Best of luck to all the teams that will be competing at state championships over the next coming weeks. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Katie. And that's all for this month's edition of The Now. Be sure to follow the North Star on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and check out our website at nnhsnorthstar.com. From the North Star, this has been Erica Brandt.
And Drake McIntyre. Have a great Halloween, Huskies, and we'll see you next month.
Beat Patrol is your show for hearing us talk about some of the new and popular music, as well as even hearing us touch upon some of the current drama in the music industry.
You guys have no idea how excited I am for it.
Natural by Imagine Dragon.
I feel like there's this stigma around K-pop.